14th Town Board Meeting 2021. Could we all stand for the invocation? And Darcy, would you do so kind?
Okay. Father God, we come before you tonight asking for your wisdom, knowledge, and discernment for those representing us to know your will for Princetown. We ask your peace and unity that only you can give. Thank you for working your will in our town. Bless those who represent us and their families. We pray as your word says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. We declare this for our town. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please remain standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Sandy, could you read the roll, please?
Councilman Golding,
Present.
Councilman Russo,
Here.
Councilman Fry,
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore, here, Supervisor Esposito.
Present. Also present is our town attorney, Gerard Parisi. Regular Princetown regular town board meetings called to order at 7:05. Shut my phone off. Okay, privilege of the floor. At every scheduled town board meeting, the public shall have the right to address the town board during the portion of the meeting referred to as privilege of the floor. Members of the public should restrict their comments to items of town business. Although there is no official time constraint, speakers should be considerate of others so that all interested members of the public have an opportunity to be heard. There shall be one portion of the meeting dedicated to privilege of the floor. Near the beginning of each meeting, all remarks, questions shall be addressed to the board. No person shall enter into discussion with the person having the floor. Council members may address any comments during the portion of the meeting referred to as council member comments. Privilege of the floor is opened up at 7:06. No takers?
I'm gonna take it. Doug Thorpe. This is Schenectady County Sheriff Deputy K-9 Kodo. Kodo and I last week, Wednesday, Thursday, put these Land of the Free, Home of the Brave memorial boards up for the town and for the people that died 20 years ago, okay? I got a text message from supervisor today saying that it is a security risk at the town hall. I don't know what that's all about. I don't understand. When I talked to you last week, when I called you and asked you and let you know I was going to be putting the 9/11 boards back up, I told you it was going to be for approximately a week. I spent Wednesday and Thursday with him down here putting them up by myself. My initial intent was to put it up on the top of the hill where we put the Vietnam Wall. I couldn't do that. The ramp going up to the Vietnam Wall land, our town land, was tore up when they dug out the electric line. I couldn't put it up on the top. I asked you, Lou, if we could put it over on the top of Princetown Plaza. Nope, couldn't open up the gates. I put it at Town Hall. I don't know where the threat arises from, or if there is one. Somebody should have called me. I would have came down here and I would have sat at the town hall all day long if there was a threat with him. So I don't know where the threat came from. I think it's very, for a week to pay tribute to 3,000 people that got killed 20 years ago is a minor inconvenience, maybe to have some boards up at town hall. I don't know where the threat came, but I'm pretty upset that I get a text. You should have called me. I had to come down here and talk, and I don't like that. So, was there a threat of the town hall for these Land of the Free, Home of the Brave signs? Is what I want to know. And why the text says I must remove them ASAP. My intention was just to leave them up for a week. Now, I don't know, it's minor inconvenience. They're this high. 4 feet high. You can see out. There is no threat to people in this town hall. If there was, I'd be happy to come down here. I could call, I could have a sheriff's car here all day long, parked here. Nobody called me. And I'm really upset with this town. I've done a lot for this town. I spent 1,000 hours up on that hill putting that town land in over there. So I was compelled to come down and voice my displeasure. I think it was a minor inconvenience for 5-7 days. Nobody was here Friday. I was here all day Saturday, Sunday. Nobody was here. I didn't see anybody. Nobody came down. So if there's a threat to this town, somebody should have called me, Lou. Okay? Minor inconvenience for the people that died on 9/11. I brought it out 10 years ago. They haven't seen the light in 10 years. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Come on, Cody.
Any others?
I would just like to say that I've seen this in the past, and I'm sorry, I'm Jack White, right here, 1502 Whiteford Road. I've seen this in the past because of the misunderstandings between all of us here, residents and town board members and stuff like that. And I've seen where, people get really upset, and it actually causes conflict between people who have been friends. And I would just like to say, I hope that this can be resolved in the next, couple of days. And if he needs a hand moving those, or if you need those moved, I'd be more than happy to move those. And just make, like, this town always comes together, even though someone, in the heat of the moment, gets upset over a misunderstanding of a text or something. So, we're family here, we're a small town, we work together, and I hope everybody can work this out without causing any problems. So I'd be more than happy to help Doug or anybody else move those if they're an issue in front of the town.
Okay, thank you, John. Any others? Okay, we'll close up the privilege of the floor at 7:11. Okay, committee reports. Highway. Nick is not here tonight. I don't think we have anything going on with the highway department. Okay, water. Do I have the water?
Yeah, we get the water.
I have it here for you.
Oh, yeah, okay, gallons pumped, looks like 1,875,000. Maximum daily use, 125,600. Minimum daily use, 32,800. Daily average, 60,500. We had a water main break leak as follows, none for this period. Issues, tower on Ruder Drive continues to leak, date for repair is still pending. Accident damage on corner of Birchwood and Pangburn Road. Repair still pending due to weather. Small leak in booster pump station on Gifford Church Road, waiting on parts to make repair. 2 chlorine lines failures were repaired by the water department with no loss of service to the residents. Exhaust fan in the well pump house was replaced by the water department. Smith Controls installed uninterrupted power supplies. UPS in both the well house and the Darrell Road pump station. These will allow communications to continue in the event of a brief power failure. There are 5 residents still without meters. Failure to comply by October 1st, 2021 will result in a letter being issued giving them a final 30 days to comply. If they still do not comply, water service will be terminated on November 1st, 2021. All of these residents have had over 18 months to comply. In the coming weeks, the water department will begin servicing and flushing hydrants. Respectfully submitted, Wes Blessing. If there's any questions, Wes is here to answer them. You got any comments, Wes?
No, just one little quick thing. The daily average for the month of August is about 12,000 to 13,000, lower than each month last year, and we're still 12 to 13,000 under that daily average. So whether it's leaks that have been repaired or the actual usage by the residents, I'm not sure, but it is down 12 to 13,000. So hopefully it's due to the leaks that we got repaired. And that's about all I got.
It rains every day.
Yeah, at least every half a day.
Anything else, Wes?
Nope, we're all set.
Okay, thank you. Code enforcement. Total permits 5, permits issued 5, permit inspection fees collected $153, building inspections 18, zoning review 0, fire inspection 0, final building inspections 1, certificates of occupancy compliance 0, bank deposit $1,503.50, check to supervisor 0, checkbook balance as of September 14, 2021, $2,130.24. Activities and zoning 0, working on planning and zoning as needed, working on permit final inspection as needed, reviewing plans as needed, Thomas Marini, building inspector. I don't think he's here. If anybody has any questions for him, he already left the building, so. Ben, you're up.
Already? It was been pretty quiet. Just had a call Saturday about a dog they found that they didn't know who the owner was. By the time I got back to him, he driven around and he found the owner out looking for him. So that was it. And then the other incident, I think that was last month anyway, with the dog bite on Mabin Road. That was sent to the Department of Health incident report, and they had to quarantine the dog for 10 days, which was done. And so far that's all good now. Haven't had any further problems. So that's it.
Any questions for Ben? No? Okay, thank you. And we have our judge here, Michelle. Would you like to give your report?
Sure. The monthly report for August was $13,684. Court submitted their budget request with nothing increased, and we actually decreased our line for supplies. A lot of things are being done through the mail, saving some paper, envelopes, and so on. Still doing a lot of pleas by mail, and the court is usually quite busy on the first and third Wednesdays when we do criminal cases. I'm working on completing the grant for the JCAP for the $4,500 for the outdoor lighting. You probably know when you leave meetings and it's dark, it's quite dark over the town, the doors, and that's why the supervisor and the town board are looking to get those installed. The Justice Court Assistance Program is quite proactive when it comes to security, and that would be definitely something that they would consider a security risk. So I took some pictures while it was light before I came in, and I'm going to take some pictures when I leave, because part of that grant, you're supposed to submit pictures and whatnot. So I think I asked Sandy to put on the agenda the resolution for the town board to approve the application to the Justice Court Assistance Program.
And just so you know, over there, you've got the estimate over there for the lighting. These lights are shining down. These other ones are gonna be projecting out into the parking lot. There's gonna be 2 lights on each pole, so that they would shine out into the parking lot as opposed to shining down, which will light up the parking lot. Because in the wintertime, as you all know, it gets dark around 5 o'clock, and they do hold court, and we do have our town board meetings at night, and it's dark out there. And they're gonna be installed on the side too. So hopefully we can get that grant.
The deadline is October 8th, so that's why kind of like it.
How long do you figure it would take if it comes to?
Usually they let people know by the end of November, December. So if the work has been done and they give us a little bit of money, at least it can be put back into the account. So, and we did get a grant last year, so, I don't know if that puts a little check mark next to us and say, no, they're not giving them any money, but I think based on the fact that it's a security, issue, we'll put that into a little bit of verbiage as to how we have many people who come in to the town board meetings as court, that we want to make sure that they're secure and the town hall's lit, especially even leaving, if you leave alone. It's dark.
I think that we should probably go ahead and do this lighting before November. It is gonna be quite dark in here. If we get the grant, we get the grant. If we don't, I still think it's a security issue over here. You should have lighting out there, especially at night when the town board is in session or when the court is in session. I don't know, sometimes you arraign people in the middle of the night.
That doesn't happen anymore.
None?
No, we have centralized arraignments now, which, knock on wood, the town of Princetown hasn't had much business lately, so. Mostly Glenville and Robertson, we know, but things may change.
Yeah, Gerard just brought up a point. Some of these grants, if we do them, they don't reimburse. Is it possible that if we did it before they made a decision on a grant?
You mean because you've already put the money out there?
Yes.
I know with the state, sometimes they do it that way. I don't know the rules of this particular grant, but.
Well, you'll know by October, right? September, October maybe?
Well, October 9th is the deadline, so I'm thinking you're probably not gonna award until the end of November. But actually, I mean, if you can hold off maybe till, November, you're just gonna change the clock back when, the first weekend in November. Maybe if we can hold off. I don't know, because the last time we purchased everything once we got the grant. So I don't know that answer.
Would it be possible if you were to ask? I don't know who you would ask.
I can call Matt Shivers and see what he thinks.
Well, you could actually say it's such a security risk that the town doesn't want to take a lot of chances.
I'll put that into
Yeah,
into the grant and
you know,
I'll
coach
call
it in
him.
that direction.
Sure.
Usually the rules are rules, and it's either reimbursement or it's not.
Okay, I'll see what I can do in the next week or so. Maybe he can just give me a off-the-record opinion about what's happened in the past, if towns have been reimbursed even though they went ahead and did it. Okay.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Yep.
Michelle, appreciate it.
Yep.
Any questions for Michelle? Doug? Oh, Ben? Jim?
No.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a report from you?
I actually do, and I think I gave it to you a couple weeks ago, and I didn't give it to you again, so. Here it is. Thank you.
This is from our assessor, the assessment cycle. Taxable status date is March 1st. Per New York State real property tax law, the assessor is required to value all changes to inventory. Filed inspections from the public right-of-way are ongoing throughout the year, with the majority being conducted November through February. The assessors are required to send out a change of assessment notice to all property owners whose assessment has been increased during the assessment cycle. I guess when properties are sold and our properties are, the value is increased, their assessment's gonna go up. I know that the realtors always say what the taxes are on their property at that present time, but when they sell their property and there's a higher value, their assessment goes up. So if your house was assessed at $50,000 years ago and you lived there for a long time, and then you sell it for $300,000, your assessment's gonna be based on $300,000, but it's not a full assessment, but it does go up. I think we're assessed at 30 for assessed value, and I think it was just lowered, it's down to 30, it was 31. Tentative and final assessment rolls published on the town website. Totals for the school district were calculated, tax rolls produced and mailed. All changes or adjusted are recorded and sent to the school district. The sales market has been very active over the last year. It has been a seller's market with the average sale price in Princetown at $294,000. During 2020, there were 21 residential sales in the town. The assessor's office works with the town building inspector to ensure that all improvements are updated on a computer system and that the assessments are adjusted when required. This office is staffing Monday through Wednesday during normal business hours. The assessor is in the office Wednesday mornings or by appointment. The assessor can also be reached anytime at 518-852-8513 or by email. I'm gonna read his email here, but it's in here, a copy of this if anybody would like it. And, any questions? Oh, I know you had
That's what I was
questions.
looking for, so that's good.
Is that what you
Yeah.
wanted?
Yeah, something like
Does
that.
it, I hope everybody understands that. You see that the property values of the average property was $294,000.
Homes that sold,
That's
yeah.
that's quite an increase over here. And like I said, when people build their houses and they've lived in them for a good number of years, as Doug and I and Jim have lived here for a good many years, that you go to sell your property, the taxes are gonna be higher than what you're currently paying. So, any questions from the assessor's report? Doug?
It costs me $100 a week for my place for school taxes.
Yeah.
That's not counting land tax.
Yeah. Every one of the schools are all high.
And I don't have a kid in school. You're smirking down there, but you're making money, I know.
Any questions? Ben? Jim?
So are they gonna physically look at every property in Princetown?
No, only when they're sold. We haven't been asked to, we haven't been told by the state that we have to do a reassessment.
Oh, I thought that's what that.
No, this is when you sell your property. That's all of the properties that were sold in the past year. If you sell your property, I don't know what you paid for your house, and it's really, it's not relevant to us, but if you built your house for $100,000 and you sell it for $300,000, the new buyer is gonna be paying a value based on $300,000.
So they're not reevaluating every piece of it?
No, it's only the houses that are,
They only did a handful, I thought, right? Didn't we get some document that picked like 12 homes or whatever? And they reassessed a few.
well, he said, oh, that was the business properties
Yeah,
that they
okay.
did some of that on.
Yeah,
They picked some business properties
yeah.
that they looked at the value of them. I think they're supposed to do that every year, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, $294,000, you wouldn't think they'd be that high, the average sale price. I know there's houses that have been built over here for, I guess a couple of them are up to close to $1 million, so. Okay, and I really don't have anything on buildings and grounds. Nothing's been going on with the state police or the building over here, other than we had the floors stripped and waxed, and we had the windows cleaned, which made our town clerk and our assessor's office happy. Am I right, Sandy?
Yes.
Any questions? Okay, public hearings, we have none.
Luke?
Oh, yes, I forgot. Go ahead, Greer.
I'd just like to report from the I'm Greer Pomeroy, and the Environmental Committee is trying to fill the hole left when David Geisinger resigned. And we just met last night, and I asked 11 people to ask multiple people who would be interested, and only one person in the town was reached who was interested, but has to do swing shifts. So also is concerned about not being able to attend enough meetings. We have another person who will do it if no one else will. So by the town board meeting next month in October, I should have the name of the person who's going to replace David. The other thing was what we do with the natural resources inventory when it's finally been reviewed enough. And I had texted Jack Russo about how many people from the Comprehensive Plan Committee did he want me to send the paper copies of the natural resources inventory to, and he said, a good point, he said that the town board had not made a decision on whether the Comprehensive Plan Committee would meet again prior to the usual every 5 years. And I think that's a good point. I personally don't feel that we need to blend the two documents just yet, because it would be good to, like he said, synchronize the two, the revision of the two of them. I've got a proposal which is to finish incorporating the reviews that we've just gotten back in August from our county and state advisors. So we were working on that last night. We have to finish that next month. And then send the paper copies to all the people in Princetown who are on the planning board or on either of the two zoning boards. And that pretty much covers everybody who was involved in writing the comprehensive plan of 2019. So then we wait for the feedback, and I haven't heard any feedback from a town board member on the document, but you're included in, our committee, something that you think should be revised. When that's all done and everybody's okay with it, then my idea is to have it be a line item on the table of contents on our town website. I asked Sandy to pass out to you up there this copy that off the computer of the Saratoga, you've got one too, I think, in front of you, the copy of the Saratoga website. And it's just, like on our website, the table of contents is of the documents is on the left side there. And that you can see they got a line for their comprehensive plan, they got a line for their natural resources inventory. So I think ours needs to go up there, probably in December. And then it's available to anyone who wants to read it. And it has important things about how you can get tax advantages and maybe actually some money, depending if you want to do a conservation easement and stuff like that. So that it's a way to get the information out to the town. Our committee's also talking about having a public meeting a year from now to talk about those things. That's our report.
Thank you, Gary. Anybody have any questions? Ben? Any questions, Jim? Doug?
No.
Cool. No, well, thank you, Greer. We appreciate it. I know you put a lot of time into it, so we do appreciate it. Okay, meeting minutes. It hereby resolved the meeting minutes of August 10th, 2021, regular town board meeting, and August 24th, 2021 at Flower Hill Fire Department joint public hearing are approved or as amended. Discussion?
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Sandy?
Councilman Bowling?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Before we go much farther over here, I don't know if everybody on board got the notice that our historian is moving.
I got the note in my file stuff.
Yes, he's gonna be leaving the end of the year, is it Sandy?
Yes.
He's moving to Burlington, Vermont. And if anybody knows of anybody that would like to be the historian, that's mandatory under town law.
Do it, we appoint it every year.
Yeah, we do appoint somebody every year, he's appointed, so. If anybody knows anybody that wants to be the historian for the town, can let us know before our organizational meeting, which is in January. Be the first week of January, we have our organizational meeting, and the town board can appoint somebody. And if we don't get anybody that's interested in it, then it'll have to stay vacant, I guess. So, okay. Greer, you might know somebody. If you do, let us know before
Yeah, I have to
January
ask,
goes.
there's somebody on the environmental committee who might maybe do
Okay. All right, resolution of the town board of the town of Princetown determining a type 2 action under SECR in connection with the establishment of the Platterkill Fire District. We had a joint public hearing a couple weeks back, and that meeting was, the hearing was with Rotterdam Town Board and Princetown Town Board. It was held up in Platterkill. They want to become a commission district. And the consensus at the time was Rotterdam was in favor of it and Princetown was in favor of it. I don't know, I really can't speak with Rotterdam, but they seem to be in favor of it. The Platterkill has determined that they would, this is the best course of action for them, so that they can remain solvent. And since they're the ones who are running the fire department, I think that, and I said it that night, I know nothing about running a fire department. Jim is the only one who knows anything about fire departments, since he made a career out of being a paramedic and a fireman for 20+ years. I don't know, you got any comments on it, Jim?
Well, one thing I do know is that the town board, the town itself, carries a certain amount of liability for the fire department under the current status, the current system. We just, by doing this, we essentially transfer that risk over to the commissioners, which to me, I mean, I'm a risk management professional, so to me, that is the biggest plus or perk for the town, because we simply transferred the risk over to the commissioners. So in other words, God forbid there's an incident, an accident, or some kind of thing where we might be named in a lawsuit, we no longer have that liability issue attached, because now it's going to be completely under the commissioner. So for me, just transferring that risk and not having the town itself under any kind of risk obligation, that's enough for me to vote yes, 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 yes. And I think we did the right thing, and I think we're doing the right thing. I think it's going to be much better, because it definitely will put us in a better situation.
There was quite a few people there, and there seemed to be nobody up in Platterkill was opposed to it. They only had one speaker that actually spoke at the public hearing, and he was actually in favor of it. So, and like I said, all of our fire districts now, if this resolution is passed, will be commission districts. I think this was the only one that was a fire protection district as opposed to a commission district. So I see no reason why I wouldn't give them that. They also have over here the commissioners that are going to be appointed, and we're going to have to pass that resolution. Do you want me to read this portion of it? The other one is quite lengthy. I'm not going to want to read that one, but I can read this one if you'd like. Whereas the town board of the town of Princetown, hereafter town in the county of Schenectady, state of New York, duly considered the establishment of a new fire district comprised of the properties in the town currently comprising the Plotterkill Fire Protection District. Whereas the town is cognizant that such proposed action establishing a new fire district may possibly affect the environment, and whereas the town, by operation of law, is the lead agency authorized to perform and review under the state's Environmental Quality Review Act, SECOR, pursuant to Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law, and undertook such a review of the proposed action as to the classification of nature of the proposed action for purpose of SECOR. Whereas the comprehensive review of the action to wit the proposed establishment of a fire district has been completed by the town. Now therefore be it resolved that the proposed action is classified as a type 2 action pursuant to 6 NYCRR 617.5 C 26, 32, and 33, all in parenthesis. Be it further resolved that the establishment of the Plotterkill Fire District will have no significant adverse impact on the environment, and based upon the type 2 classification noted above, no further action is required by the town to comply. Motion to approve the resolution made by
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Sandy.
Supervisor Esposito,
Yes.
Councilman Gray,
Yeah.
Councilman Jacaruso,
Yes.
Councilman Pavalli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora.
Yes.
Resolution approved. And you have to sign this, Sandy?
Yeah.
And I don't think we have to read it, that since Sandy has to certify it. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. This is the big one over here, Town of Princetown resolution in order establishing the Plotterkill Fire District in the town of Princetown and the town of Rotterdam.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Sandy?
You don't need to read the list that are gonna be the commissioners or anything.
Well, that's a different,
It's all one.
oh, yeah, okay. Be it further resolved that the following residents of the Plotterkill Fire District are hereby appointed as commissioners of the Board of Fire Commissioners of the Plotterkill Fire District effective October 2nd, 2021 for the term expiring in December 31st, 2022. Douglas Waddell, Ennis Road, Mary Tonovich, 660 Skyline Drive, Tom Koski, is it? 2871 Curry Bush Road. And Ashley Baldwin, 466 South Kelly Road, and Austin Gifford, 132 Rennick's Corner Road. Those are going to be the fire commissioners, and
We should note that that's a big job, and it's a thankless job, and there's no pay in at all. And they do a lot of work, and any of these folks that signed up for it, signed up for a lot of work with no pay, so I gotta give them a lot of credit, because it's not an easy job.
okay, there is one other error. It says, be it further resolved that the following resident of the Plotterkill Fire District is hereby appointed as treasurer of the Plotterkill Fire District effective October 2nd, 2021 for the term expiring on December 31st, 2022. It's Sherry Martell, 2812 Wellington Avenue, Rotterdam, New York.
The motion still stand?
Yeah.
I didn't get who said it, I'm
I think
sorry.
Doug,
And you seconded it? or
No.
Benson? You
I
seconded it?
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Esposito,
Yes.
Councilman Gray,
Yeah.
Councilman Jacaruso,
Yes.
Councilman Pavalli,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora.
Yes.
Resolution passed. So this resolution in order approved. You want me to read that one, Sandy? Okay.
It's just the certification.
Pardon?
It's just the
Yeah,
certification.
the signature anyway. I don't know how to read all that too.
Didn't we just go to the 2022 budget?
Yeah. Okay, 2022 budget. It is hereby resolved in accordance with provision of section 106 of the town law and other applicable provisions of law, the town board of the town of Princetown approves and adopts the 2022 tentative budget as the 2022 preliminary budget. Such preliminary budget will be filed in the office of the town clerk where will be available for public inspection. The town board of the town of Princetown will meet on October 12, 2021 at 7 p.m. at the Princetown 165 Princetown Plaza, Schenectady, New York, to hold a public hearing on the aforementioned preliminary budget. The town clerk shall give legal notice to the Daily Gazette of the public hearing at least 5 days prior to the public hearing. The public notice shall be posted on the town's signboard at least 5 days prior to the meeting. Is that date available for everybody to review the tentative budget?
That's the town board meeting day. You didn't set your workshops is coming up.
That's just the public hearing.
Yeah, it's just a public hearing.
Yeah, it's the regular town board meeting day.
I can't hear this thing.
It's the regular town board meeting
Oh, okay.
in October.
Oh, okay. All right, any questions on it?
Just we had some confusion last year. Are there any changes from the tentative to the preliminary? Nobody's making any changes, correct?
Well, we're gonna have a workshop.
Right, but. the
We can change, the tentative is gonna go for a preliminary, but we are gonna do a workshop to see if we wanna make any changes.
No changes can be made until after the public hearing. Once you pass this resolution, the tentative budget is going to be the same as the preliminary budget. Is that correct?
Yes, and then we can still make changes up to.
After the public hearing,
Yes,
to the final budget, right?
yes.
Okay.
Everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Balloli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Resolution passed. Interfund transfer. Is hereby resolved the town board approves the transfer of $25,000 from account 5031.12 water fund to account 99509 general fund.
Before we make the motion, just so everybody understands, we loaned the water department this money because we were absolutely out of cash in the water department, so that the town loaned the money. This is now the money coming back. So just so everybody understands what the purpose of this is and how it worked. I'm sorry, go ahead, you made the motion?
Doug?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other questions on this? Okay. Sandy?
Councilman Balloli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passed. Town court grant application. Is hereby resolved the town board of Princetown authorizes the Princetown Town Court to apply for a JCAP grant in the 2021-22 grant cycle up to $4,500. We discussed this with Michelle earlier. Is there any questions on it?
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Balloli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passed. Town Board 2022 workshops. Is hereby resolved the town board schedules a budget workshop to discuss the 2022 budget figures. The dates and times are, we didn't put dates and times in. Anybody got any suggestions?
This has to be after the public hearing.
But you just can't make changes to the budget until after the public hearing. You can meet anytime you want to
We
discuss
can
it.
meet before the public hearing. All right?
Yeah, you just can't make any changes to the
We
budget.
can't make any changes, but we can meet and review the budget.
Yes.
Do you want, can we do it on that same day, a half hour early or an hour early?
No, we should do it separately. We gotta go through it item by item, line item by line item. see if we gotta make any changes after the
So
budget.
you're talking early October?
We can meet anytime between tomorrow and the next board meeting.
Before the next board meeting, yes, you should definitely do it. I'd like to get it over with in case we got any suggestions of what we're gonna do.
About next Tuesday.
We can do it next week, we can do it the week after. Just give me some dates, I'm available, it'll be fine.
What about September 21st? Can we meet at 6? Can we meet a little earlier?
That's fine, with me. What's the date? Is that good for you? Doug? Jim?
The 21st?
Yeah, what time, 6 o'clock? Good?
Yeah.
Six,
You have to be there, Sandy?
September what, 21st?
21st, so
September
next Tuesday.
21st.
What time?
6.
6. Is that good for everybody? Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Do we need 2? It says 2 on here. We probably only need 1, right? I mean, it's not like-
Pardon?
It says 2 budget workshop meetings. We would probably only need 1, right?
We're probably only gonna need one. We can do it if we have a problem after the public hearing, then we can have another meeting before the final budget is approved. We can make changes up until that time. What's the date, Sandy, November 20th? It's gotta be done before, it's gotta be passed by November 20th. So if we wanted to make any changes, it would have to be up until November 20th, we could do it. Go ahead, Sandy.
Councilman Capoli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora? Yes. Councilman Gray?
Yeah.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passed. General funds claim, is hereby resolved that the town board approves claim number 167 through number 195 in the amount of $20,791.79. Discussion.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Sandy?
Councilman Capoli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora? Yes. Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Okay, it is hereby resolved the town board approves, resolution passed. It is hereby resolved the town board approves claim number 114 through number 126 in the amount of $4,940.08. Discussion. Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Sandy, is there a second?
I'll put Doug as second.
Did you second? Okay.
Councilman Capoli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora? Yes. Councilman Gray? Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, it is hereby, highway claims, resolution passed. It is hereby resolved the town board approves claim number 6 through 70 in the amount of $20,655.32 for snow plowing, salting, and sign repairs. This was the salting and sanding of, and plowing of the roads from, what was it, January to the end of the season, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Councilman Capoli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora? Yes. Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passed. Highway transfer, hereby resolved the town board approves the transfer of $20,655.32 from account number 99019 to account number 5031. Discussion.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Sandy?
Councilman Capoli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora? Yes. Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Okay, council members' comments and discussion. I'd like to comment on what Doug had to say earlier at this meeting during privilege of the floor. He failed to tell everybody that he informed our town clerk that the boards were going to be taken down Monday or Tuesday of this past week. There was no actual threat to the town hall, but both the assessor's office and the town clerk's office like to see who's coming into the building at any given time. They cannot see when they're sitting at the table, at their desks, who is entering the building. And in this day and age, when people are, with what's going on all across this country, they have to be able to see who's coming into the building. I never said it had to be taken out ASAP. I just said it's time to be removed. And I gave the reasons why. So I'm very sorry if he's upset about that, but it's the town board's job to make sure that our people in this building are protected in any way, shape, or form. There was nothing meant against him personally, but me being the supervisor, and when somebody says to me over here, they can't see people coming into the building, and it bothers them, then it's time to react to it. I don't know how anybody on the board feels about that. Ben, you got anything?
I mean, I understand his frustration, but, you know, they need to be taken down, they need to be taken down. We do fire inspections up at the school, and there's certain criteria that we have to meet, where posters can only be so far from the ceiling or the floor. I know there's a lot of regulations in place. You know, I appreciate what he's trying to do, but I also get that the staff here has to be taken care of first. So.
Jamie, got anything?
Yeah, no, I feel the same way as everybody, you know, that it's unfortunate that, you know, he had to get upset about it. I feel bad about that. I know it was a lot of work. It took 2 days to put it up. But, you know, again, like you said, the employees had an issue with it.
Well, even, you know, and this isn't like an insult to a 9/11 memorial. That's not our intent at all.
No, it wasn't my intent to insult the memorial. That was never the intent. But he did make the comment that it was going to be taken down. He never said it was going to be left up a week. He did say it was going to be down within 2 days, Monday or Tuesday. And I feel bad that he gets upset about it, but there was no one intentionally trying to disparage his, his patriotism towards the 9/11 memorial. But at the same time, you know, like I said, if it becomes an issue with that they can't see who's coming into the building, you have to protect the people in the building, and obviously you cannot see who's coming into the building when those signs are up there. And that's all I asked him, is when he was going to take them down. I'm sorry he got upset about it, but it is what it is. Doug, you got anything to say?
I didn't even know they were putting it up.
He did call me and he asked. I didn't know that they were going to be put in front of the town hall. I suggested that they be put up onto the, where the Vietnam Memorial was. We own all of that land now. The county donated it to the town. There was plenty of room up there to put it. He thought it should be down here. I didn't know it was going to be placed down here, but that's neither here nor there about it. It's over with now. Nicole, you got anything you want to?
I agree with everybody else. I thought it was nice that he did it. I wanted to come see it and everything, but then, like you said, if they're sitting and they can't see, I'd like to be able to see who's coming in and out if I'm sitting in the office.
Most definitely. You have to see who's coming. Now, like I say, in this day and age, you don't know what can happen. We see it all over this country, what's going on. So, like I said, I'm sorry if you got upset about it. I know his intentions were good. It was a tribute to the 9/11 memorial. I understand all that. He put a lot of work into it. But by the same token, we have to do what's right for the town too. So, and I never said ASAP. I said it's time for it to be taken down. It's a security issue with the town. That's all I said. If somebody gets upset about that, I'm very sorry. about it. But, that's all I have to say about it. You got anything, Ben? Jim?
No, the only thing I did want to reiterate is that the vote for the Fire Department Commission district was unanimous on the town board, and that's a good thing, because our number one responsibility is our fiduciary responsibility to the town taxpayer, and this is definitely going to relieve us of that liability. Not that it was a big issue, it's never been an issue, but you never know. Accidents happen, things happen, we could be named in lawsuits. At this point, we're transferring all that risk to the commissioners, and I think I'm happy that it was a unanimous decision at the hearing the other night, and it's actually good for us, good for the town. It may cost a few pennies more, but not much.
I'm good.
Doug? Okay. Yeah. No, I gotta do something. Yeah. Okay, executive session, hereby resolved, the town board enters into the executive session to discuss a legal matter.
Hey, Lou, I just have a question. I know that the town hall, mostly the courtroom and the meeting room have been painted. Do you know when my office is gonna get painted? I've got that one corner that is horribly,
In your office?
yeah.
Ben's gonna be working on that.
Bob Burgess?
Not this bad.
No, Bob.
Bob.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Bob is gonna be working.
Okay.
Is gonna be
If I could get a heads up so I can get, I know he was concerned about the computer and other stuff, but it's really, it's bad.
He's going to fix that.
Yeah, that, all that water and that water drip. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks.
All right, thank you all for coming.
Second.
Councilman Goldie?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Rizzo? Yes. Councilwoman Laura? Yes. Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes.